All right, we're going to start with the ox. I always start with the year of. So on this slide, I'm not sending you these slides. So if you want these slides, you're just going to want to take a picture to you because there's just too many slides. So as you can see, first of all, I'm going to stay a little bit on this one, and then we will talk. We'll speed it up just a little bit. So first of all, you're going to see the icon and the name of the animal. It's an ox. You're going to see stars under the animal. And we'll recap that just like we did before with the elements. And then right below that, do you see year, month, day, and hour? So if you have an ox in your chart, it's going to affect your networks, your networking efforts, all those things I said before. If it's in the month, it's going to affect your career, your character. If it's in the day, it's going to affect you, your mindset, your partnerships. If it's the hour, it's going to be about your goals and your investments. On the right hand of the screen is just the time blazer, but it's static. I'm going to show you the software later, but these are actually, the good days for the month of January. The green ones are the ones that are good. Now, that can only get you so far because you want to go in and go, well, does that animal match me or does it conflict with me? And or is it, what time within those days are good? So every year we have 12 months, we have 12 animals. So January in the Chinese system is now called January. It's called the ox month. But I still wanted to bring some standardization to the system for you. So I made it look like a Western calendar. But as you can see, could you hover over, what is it, January the 3rd or something like that? You see that's when this month started. So it never starts on the 1st. It will never start on the 1st. It will start 3rd, 4th, 5th, even 6th of the month. And then it will go into the following month. So, before January the 5th, that was still considered the rat month, still in the rat year. So anyway, so that's just a little, don't worry about where we'll get into that a little bit more. So let's just talk about, and if you've got an ox in your chart, put in the chat ox and what pillar that it would be in. So if you can do that for me as well. All right, let's talk about, and like I said, there's going to be some positive things that I'm going to say about the animals, and then there's going to be some things that are not going to be so great. So it's the yin and yang of it, right? And they're kind of this is what I want you to look at. Focus on as much and try to bring up by using the energies of these animals of the positive. And the negatives, be aware of them to avoid the pitfalls, okay? These are the potentials, and we're going to be looking at, by the end of this, you're going to have what all these pillars are, and you're going to probably want to take notes. And by the way, you get a replay, so you can replay it if you want to stop and listen to it again. That you are able to start building again your chart and potential for next year, or this year. Next year, as in a couple weeks, it's going to be the ox, okay? All right, so first of all, we have what I call ingenuity. So it's very inspirational, full of creativity, very, very full of creativity. So this is an animal that should learn something new, whatever it is, but try to bring creativity to it. Even if you're learning how to program or whatever, write sales funnels or whatever, try to be creative about it. That will be more satisfying, as well as this is, there's a lot of noise out there as far as marketing online, so you're going to have to be very creative about that. This is also about unconventional learning. So most of us have probably looked at a YouTube video or two to learn something this past year, but there's so many online platforms now that if you want to learn something new, even it sounds like you can become a doctor online. So you don't even have to, I'm not sure how they're doing clinics and all that kind of stuff. But basically what we, are looking at is this online platform. So there's a lot of different ways you can learn something new. As a matter of fact, if you are one of those that is a workshop junkie, that you just go to class after class after class after class, and you have all these manuals and recordings and all of that kind of stuff, why don't you consider going through some of those pieces and go, hey, maybe I still have something to learn here on one of these courses that I bought in the past. Why don't you dig into one of those and see where you can actually start bringing up some good information to monetize, again, climb the right mountain, right? Okay, now you're also going to be connecting with people this year, so network with the right people so that you can really elevate what you're trying to bring about in your life. Because these connections potentially could bring new skills, knowledge, and resources for you, as well as you will be able to capitalize on these opportunities. So connections are very, very important for you this year. Now, this particular animal is part of a triple harmony, and so it means that when we have other animals in play, now you may have these in your chart if you already have an ox, but if you have a rooster, an ox, and a snake, what that's going to do is, this is something that's sort of hidden. So what this means, and all the animals have a triple harmony, but I'm just going to talk about the ox because it's the year of the ox. If you're in my programs, you'll know about the other ones. But the snake, if you have a snake in your chart, if you have a rooster in your chart, and you have an ox in your chart, you connect already with the ox and the ox energy. So you can use this oxen energy, if you will. So this is sort of your power team, if you will, is snake, rooster, and ox. So as you can see, the ox is also important to you as well. All right, so again, look at the 5 structures in your chart, that natal chart, below your natal chart, the 5 structures, and just see what metal is to you. So maybe it's a missing element. Wow, there it is. It wouldn't be probably missing though, because you'd have rooster in your chart. That's a metal animal. But what I'm saying is, do you want more of what's there? That can be there. Now, you can also find this by, let's say you're an ox, and your friend, your partner has a rooster in your chart. Already you've got 2. So you can start adding people to make this happen as well. And you can also do this for your space. You can do this with the time blazer of using, let's say we needed a rooster I'm missing the rooster. I've got maybe an ox and a snake in my chart. Well, then we're going to use the rooster month in September, and then I can bring this metal, because that's what these 3 animals do, is bring more metal to the chart. So, and there's going to be one of the animals I'm going to be telling you about soon, but doesn't exactly have the best energy of one of these, so they can use the other 2 to lift themselves up. See, there's always more than one way to go around the block. All right, so then we also have some energy that kind of drops. This is the energy that's called the Grand Duke. This is the year of whatever it's the year of, it's always the Grand Duke. So what that means is there could be some significant challenges, an unexpected change. Like, do we need to change more? But yeah, I guess the ox gets that this year. So it can be a little bit stressful and emotional upheavals. And then also do watch for depression, burnout, things like that. And but on the positive side, the Grand Duke can bring incredible, if you are prepared for it, and you are you've got like a big idea. It is a risk, but you know what? Sometimes you need to just kind of go for it, right? So try to find a good mentor to work with. If you are doubtful about key pieces, you may want to think about working with somebody in tandem to help you. So it is a big risk, but it is certainly a big gain. So do watch for some petty people, backstabbers, office politics, or Zoom politics, or what. Whatever, that could be a potential for the ox. Could you go to the next one as we look at some of these companion animals? So the ox and the rat also get along very well. These are called combination animals. So they help. These are your BFFs here. You want to be using these animals when they are helping, especially when we have animals that are not, and I'm going to go through each of them this way. And then when we look at also the next one, these are the triple harmonies. So I'm going to show you these. I'm going to show you, but I'm not going to go into them as deeply as I did with the ox. But the ox, snake, and rooster, when you have that, it's going to bring more metal in your chart. Why do you want to know if you have more metal? Because it adds to your 5 structures. And again, we can find this in many different ways. We're just building foundation right now. Like sometimes I'll be watching a program, and I'll look at my husband, and I'll go like, what are they talking about? He goes, because he's already seeing. He goes, just wait. They're building the backstory. It's like, okay, all right. So what we're doing is we're building the backstory right now. All right, let's go on to the next one. These are the ones that don't get along so well, is the ox and the goat. Now, you may have this internal clash. I have an internal clash in my chart. So basically what it means is I'm always like, there's always something that's changing up in Kathleen's life. So that's what that means, okay?